Hello, everyone. Welcome to IELTS Energy TV. I am your teacher, Jessica Beck. In this episode, Aubrey and I are going to talk about reading strategies. We had a student ask if there were some questions that you should save until the end. Should you do questions out of order on the reading exam? Find out today, guys. And if you are wondering what your IELTS score would be, you can find out for free. You don't have to take the exam to find out. Find out for free, guys. Go to allearsenglish.com/IELTS quiz. All right, guys, let's get to it. Good morning, Miss Aubrey.
Hello, Miss Jessica. How are you?
I'm great. Guys, this is the second time that we're starting this episode because I messed up technically on our first try, but luckily we only wasted 1 minute before I realized it. So
you
guys,
are like the most honest person I know. Every time there's any kind of audio difficulty or a mess up, you're like, I'm just going to put this out there. I feel like I need to let you guys know.
You know what? It is always useful to know that people are human. And this is one of the biggest things that sets us apart from other brands, from other faceless, IELTS websites or whatever. At All Ears English and IELTS Energy, you get real people behind every piece of advice, behind every course, behind every blog post. Guys, we are real people. A real team updating you all the time. And we're human. So that's good. Okay. So guys, we are talking about a question left in a review today. And I want to take this opportunity to encourage you guys, pause the podcast right now. If you have found anything at all helpful in what we've taught you so far, guys, please.
You have.
We know you have. That's why you're here. First of all, subscribe to the podcast. But guys, do please take a minute to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen, because it really does help the show to find more listeners. So please, guys, leave us a review. Okay, what is in the review you're going to read?
Yes, I'll read this one. I was reading 3 reviews. That always makes my day to read these. And it's Mustafa. He left 5 stars. Thank you. But also, of course. And then he said, I just listened to podcast 618, and it has a really valuable information about the reading section, which is kind of challenging. I have one question, though. Do you think it's more useful to start with one type of question than others so that the passages can be more clear for us after we have come across most of it? Great question. Yes.
That's an awesome question. Thank you, Mustafa, for the question and leaving us that review. Guys, he is talking about a great episode from the past, from 2018, episode 618. It's called Do This Now for a Reading Band 9. So since this episode was a couple years ago, we are going to summarize the most important points for you, and then we're going to address his question. Guys, can you cheat the exam somehow? Are there questions that you should save for last? Should you do something first? Does this help? Does it save time? So guys, we're going to answer that directly. But first, let's summarize the advice from the amazing episode he's talking about. So that's an episode with Lindsay and I. Again, it's a couple years ago. And we do start out by recommending some amazing books that we were reading at the time. But let's update this. Aubrey, is there a book you can recommend for our IELTS students?
Good question. I'm actually reading the first Outlander book.
Oh my God, that's so fun. Diana Garibaldi, I think is the author.
Yes, she's a great. I love the series Outlander, if you guys are watching it. And the books are even better. Like a lot of great detail. So much fun, like Gaelic and Scottish accent written out. I feel like it's a great book if you want to understand the Scottish accent better, to read these books, because so much of it is that Highlander accent, right? And then it's just fun. It's this great story about time travel. She goes back 200 years from about the era of World War II to the era of the clan wars in Scotland versus England. And it's fascinating. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Outlander.
Guys, it's if you like romance, This is a great way for you to also learn about science fiction and fantasy novels, right? Because, guys, on IELTS, you are asked questions about books, about genres, about stories. And sometimes in part 3, it'll be like, should books be turned into movies? How close should the movie be to the book? Stuff like that. So this is a great example of that. And guys, also, because I'm not a romance fan at all, usually. And I got into this because it was like the sci-fi time travel thing, like Aubrey said. But oh my God, it's a steamy
It is a little
story.
It was the same with me because I love science fiction fantasy. So I started reading it, but I was like, oh goodness, this is a little steamy. So if you like romance novels, it's a good hybrid.
Totally. So guys, yeah, definitely check that out if you're looking for a novel. Guys, I recently interviewed Gabe Weiner from Fluent Forever for the Allers English side. That episode will come out in a couple weeks, but he was saying also that, guys, if you are learning a language and you guys are improving English for an exam, for a specific purpose, guys, if you are not enjoying what you are doing, you are not learning anything. So if you don't enjoy reading the New York Times, don't do it, guys. Get into novels. You can get all the ideas and vocabulary and grammar, all that stuff you can get from novels as well. So real fast before we move on to the other parts of the reading strategies, I want to recommend a book I'm reading. Sorry, I'm laughing at my
can't
own.
even say it. You're already laughing.
It's like my own inside joke in my own head. Anyway, it is called The Stand. It is by Stephen King. And you know what, guys? This is the only book that I have read more than once. I'm on my third reading. And because I just watched like a new mini series based on it, because I love everything Stephen King. And I got the unabridged version, and it's like literally like 1,500 pages. And I love it. I'm like in heaven with this book.
Man.
So
is the series you're watching the one that's sort of like the prequel to Misery?
Oh no, that's Mr. Mercedes.
Oh, that was so fascinating.
That's like or no, that's it's not a prequel to no, that's like The Shining World.
Okay, gotcha.
Dr. Sleep,
yes.
Mr. Mercedes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quiz me on Stephen King trivia. I'm ready. Okay,
I'm
so
ready for it.
Let's bring it back to IELTS, guys. What are some skills that we want our students to focus on, Aubrey? There are 3 skills that you need in order to do the reading exam in 1 hour and answer all 40 questions. So guys, Aubrey, what are those 3 skills?
Well, the first thing is skimming. You guys have to be able to take a passage, skim it, and take 1 minute to get the gist, the overall idea. And this is where students can really get bogged down, because if you're thinking of it as a comprehension exam and you take a lot of time just to read the passage, you're not going to have time for all the questions. You're just going to run out of time.
Exactly. So skimming is super important. It just takes a minute, but you have to do it. And then, of course, in order to find answers quickly, you must be proficient at scanning. And scanning is not reading. It is only looking for specific information. So in episode 618, guys, we talk about when it seems like the strategies aren't working for you, what do you do? There is an activity we came up with on this show a couple years ago called reading backwards or working backwards. And so, guys, go back to 618 and we talk about that. But basically, guys, it's like if you're trying to tackle the difficult question types like matching headings to paragraphs, yes, no, not given, and it's not working. You're hitting a block. You feel like you cannot answer these questions at all. Work backwards. So all that is you write the answers first, and then you go back to the passage and you figure out why they're the answers, right? This helps you to get in the mind of the test writer. It helps you to understand there's a pattern to all of these questions, guys. That's why Three Keys IELTS students get band 9s in reading because the same tricks, the same patterns are used on every exam, and I know what they are. And in the course, I tell you the strategies to find the answers. So working backwards, guys, it helps you spot those patterns. Okay, so let's tackle his question. Aubrey, what do you think about going out of order when you're answering reading questions?
Yeah, so most of the reading questions, you guys can do them in order, but there is one that you should definitely save to the last, and that is matching headings to paragraphs. Because just like he said, you want to be as familiar with the passage as possible. You want to have looked at it, looking for other questions, and then because it's going to take you a little more time, it's going to really help it be a little clearer that way.
Actually, no, it's finding information in paragraphs.
Oh, that's right.
That's
That's
the
what I
one
meant.
we saved
Yes,
to last. Yeah, I
exactly.
know. There's one word difference. It's one word
Right.
difference. Aubrey, how are those two question types different? Matching headings to paragraphs and finding information in paragraphs.
Yeah, the headings and paragraphs are a little easier because they're main ideas. So they're going
Yeah,
to be in the first and last sentence of the paragraph almost always, you guys.
totally.
But finding information in paragraphs, it could be anywhere in that paragraph. So this is the one you need to save to the end because that information could be anywhere in that passage. You want to be as familiar as possible with the passage.
Exactly. Finding information in paragraphs, I think it's the toughest question type.
Oh, by
I think
far.
it's
Yes.
tougher than yes, no, not given, tougher than multiple choice, right? Because those can be really hard. So definitely save it till the last group of questions. Okay. And guys, other than that, like there's no specific question type besides that one that you should really save for later. Just go in order, guys. Trying to game the system, trying to like second guess the test or whatever, making it complicated, cheating your way around stuff, guys, that does not work. Okay. Go in order, do what the test tells you to do. Now, having said that, there's always an exception, right? Of course, guys, there are going to be some questions that you can't find the answer. Maybe you don't know that parallel expression. Maybe you're nervous and that you're not taking the information in for some reason. If that happens, guys, if you find yourself looking for an answer for more than a minute, stop looking, put a little check next to it, or on the computer delivered version, you can actually mark it for review, right? At the bottom of the screen, you can mark that number for review and then go back later, okay? Because again, like finding information in paragraphs, after you've already looked at the passage a bunch of times and like found all these other answers, you'll probably come across one that you skipped before. It's like you find it when you're not looking. That's kind of the magic to the tough ones, I think.
Exactly. And this can definitely happen for those finding headings and paragraphs. If it's not in that first line, the second or the very last line, skip it, come back, because once you've finished all the other questions, then you're probably going to have seen it. There might be one where it's in the middle and you'll probably see it once, so just come back later. Don't spend a lot of time reading the whole paragraph to find it.
Exactly, guys. Step by step. Guys, if you want access to the reading strategies that we're talking about, we've given you a lot of great strategies already today, guys. But if you feel like you are ready for more, for a complete system of strategies, the same ones that have gotten so many students band 9 on reading, check out our course, guys. Academic, general, paper, computer, we have it all. Go to allearsenglish.com/KEYS. And as always, like we said before, guys, if you are learning from our podcast, and we hope you are, leave us a review in Apple Podcasts. That's a great place to ask us a question, just like Mustafa. You can also email us a question, support@allearsenglish.com, and we might mention you in a future episode.
Yes, definitely. All right. Thanks, Jessica. This was a fun one.
Have a good day, Aubrey.
Bye.
Bye.